All right, this video is going to be about Sabbath is mistranslated 9 times for the word week in the King James New Testament. All right, sometimes when you go to your concordance, sometimes people are led to believe that the word Sabbath can also mean week, or the Greek word Sabbaton can mean week also. And I'll show you later, you'll see that, only 9 times they mistranslated the word Sabbath as for week. And the Greek word evdomata is not actually in these texts. So they could have used a Greek word if they want to say he rose on the first day of the week, but it's not in these texts. And I will show you where they are. And like I said, I gave you 2 alternates right here for that. And anyways, you can go to either take a snapshot. I'm going to have the stuff down the link below. You can look at it and take your time on it. But anyways, these words right here, Matthew 28:1, Sabbath, that usually says week right there. Week, week, week. Okay, so let me move forward here. Let me go down here. I'm going to make some points concerning that Greek word week. I'm just going to read this out real quick. I put LXX Septuagint Greek, miaton sabbaton in Acts 20 verse 7. That phrase, first day of the week, right? It says it should be one of the Sabbaths, or one of the Sabbath. All right, I put the Greek word there. Sabbaton means Sabbath. The Greek word for week is evdomata, which is not in the above text. Because people like to say that it can mean week too, right? It's not. So here we go. I repeat here. Evdomata means week of a period of 7. Here's an example. The menu of the week. So evdomata, week. So it's not in those texts up there. Again, I'm going to show you where they're at. I put the Greek word for week, evdomata, found in these verses here. Genesis 29, verse 27, 28. Daniel, and I put them all right here for you. I'm going to give you an example coming up right here for Deuteronomy 16:9. Here we go. All right, there you go. The Greek word evdomata is found twice in the Deuteronomy 16:9. So there you go. And whoops, right there, evdomata. There you go. So, if they wanted to say that the Messiah rose on the first day of the week, well, they could use this Greek word evdomata. So, he rose on the 7th-day Shabbat, 7-day Sabbath, pagan name Saturday, not the first day of the week, known as pagan name Sunday. So, I'm going to go down here real quick. I put King James Translators Strong's number Sabbaton in the following manner. They translate that word Sabbath day 37 times, Sabbath 22 times, week 9 times. And I put majority of the mistranslations of the text concerns the resurrection day to push the first day of the week Sunday worship. That's what I believe the reason is. Or maybe the guy had limited text, but think about it. Only 9 times out of the majority, and a lot of them have to do with the resurrection. Now, since all this knowledge is abounding, we know there's a Greek word for week, which is not in the text, so there you go. What is it? 37, 22, that's 57, 58, 59 times with just 9 times. And you look at the renderings, you can go look at King James. A lot of them have to do with the resurrection, okay? So, pretty much repeat what I said here is here. So, I'm going to go back up to top 2 concerning the resurrection. Another thing some people don't know, but there's 2 Sabbaths during the resurrection week. One after Passover is an annual Sabbath. You have to look up all the verses with the preparation before the Sabbath. And I don't know where it says it at the moment. It just says it's an annual Sabbath. It's preparation, and the high Sabbath is coming up the following day. So they want to get the Messiah off the tree or the stake into the grave before the next day, which is a high Sabbath. There's one Sabbath before the weekly 7-day Sabbath. So I put here a note right here, I put 2 Sabbaths occurred during the resurrection week. After Passover, the 15th was the first day of a Feast of Unleavened Bread, which was an annual Sabbath observance. The first and last days of Unleavened Bread were annual Sabbaths in addition to the normal weekly Sabbath. You could look up these verses here if you don't know. And then, of course, I say here, the Messiah rose on the 7th-day Sabbath, known by pagan name Saturday, not Sunday, first day of the week. So, go back up here again. That's pretty much it. Just thought I'd put this out there so people could look it up. Here, I'll read one of the renderings I put here. Matthew 28:1. In the eve of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward one of the Sabbaths, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. Here's another option. When evening came, then Sabbath, at the dawning of one of the Sabbaths, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. Later on, I may put something available to show that they also mess with Matthew 28 here also. This word evening here, or ops, there's a Greek word for that's there. They usually translate it as in the end or something like that. That's wrong. It's actually the Greek word evening, and it's the first word in the text, but they always flip it. And anyways, the grammar would be actually start with evening, then Sabbath, right? At the dawning of one of the Sabbaths, right? So that's something to take a note there. They flip this around. And if you take the time to look it up in the New Testament, I may show this later in another clip. Probably will. You can see the 2 other times it's translated as evening. You go back, look to the Greek. It used there as late, but in context it means evening. You look in the Hebrew Masoretic text, like evening, twilight, evening tide, stuff like that. So, anyway, so there you go. And shalom.